and Gnista Spirits is a wine alternative brand, the first one that we're having on this podcast. I'm very excited.
I'm not trying to make imitations. I don't think you can make a wine and without alcohol and get something that's it won't satisfy me. It will be, for me, I will compare it too much to wine. And since I drink wine, I mean, I know there are many people who don't, and for them it's good enough, but for me, I drink wine, so I will compare it to wine. Because I realized that the market for these kind of, crafty, strange drinks that I am representing, it's not big enough in one country. You need to make it global, right? It's not even a trend. Maybe it's a trend in the biggest sense of the word. But it's unstoppable, and it's a global one. So as this happens, what are we replacing the old stuff with?
Welcome to Non-Alcoholic Wine Celebrities, a 30-minute B2B podcast hosted by me, Vanessa de Souza Lage. I'm the founder of vinos.com, VIN00s.com. In each episode, I sit down with a professional who's shaping the non-alcoholic wine market. So this show is designed specifically for industry professionals, bringing you sharp insights and strategies from the leaders driving one of the fastest growing categories in beverages. So thank you so much for being here and taking the time to listen. If you're enjoying the show, please follow us on your favorite listening app or subscribe on YouTube. Every listen and every follow helps us keep this podcast alive and bring on high quality guests. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Happy listening. So hello and welcome to the Non-Alcoholic Wine Celebrities podcast. Today I have the pleasure to have Erika Eklundh with me. She is the founder of Gnista Spirits, and Gnista Spirits is a wine alternative brand, the first one that we're having on this podcast. I'm very excited. Erika launched Gnista in 2019 with the target to redefine what a spirit and red wine can be. In her own words, we're entering a future where most people just want the taste, not the alcohol. So the natural starting point for Gnista was the sensory requirements. She asks, what is the essence of great wine drinking moment, given that the buzz factor is removed? So she allowed herself to not be restricted to how things are usually done or to imitate the taste of alcoholic versions, but instead has a focus on creating liquids that actually do the job. You're very welcome on this show, Erika. Thanks so much. Please take us straight back to 2019. What sparked Gnista?
Thanks. And thanks for having me. It's really nice to meet you, Vanessa, and to be part of this. Well, in 2019, I worked with I've always worked with food and branding, essentially. And I think it's one of the great pleasures in life, to eat and drink. And I think we're so lucky that we do it every day. And at this point, I was working with another drink startup, and Seedlip was launched. And it's interesting because these days, do you know Seedlip?
No.
It was huge. It was the first non-alcoholic gin.
Okay.
It was backed by Diageo, Still Ventures. It's really huge. So Seedlip is the brand that created the category non-alcoholic spirit. And I was working with another drinks brand, and I saw this Seedlip and the kind of new non-alcoholic gins coming up, and I wanted to challenge that a bit because I could, for me, obviously when it comes to non-alc, the driving forces, one of the biggest driving forces is health, right? But, it's health is a very broad, counting calories is one aspect, just not being hangover or being able to go out and jog on a Saturday morning, that's also part of health, right? So for me, I found this category so interesting, and exactly what I'd written, at the start. We've had wines and alcoholic beverages for ages, for thousands of years, and they are there for a reason, right? We have, wine pairing it with food. We have cocktails. And up till now, up till the point where everyone has been drinking, more or less all grown-ups, they have done a job. But now, as we're moving into this future, all of these kind of nice times in life, they will still be there. We will still have the nice dinner. We'll still treat ourselves on the balcony after work and meet friends. But people don't want the alcohol. This is it's not even a trend. Maybe it's a trend in the biggest sense of the word. But it's unstoppable, and it's a global one. So as this happens, what are we replacing the old stuff with, and why? That's really what I'm interested in.
Mm-hmm.
So and since I'm not from the wine industry, we don't have a distillery background. I don't really care whether wine has traditionally been made from grapes. I care about something else, and I care about the liquid. I care that for me, I think the problem with non-alcoholic drinks, traditionally, this is changing a lot, which is fun and great, is that for me they are either too sweet or too mild. So all of these kind of nice, mild, botanical beverages, they don't really work for me. I might, beer. I think beer is nice, but other than that, I might as well just have a glass of water. So like my kind of benchmark is if one of my three girls like it, I'm not, it's not good enough.
Then you don't.
Then I don't. No. Exactly. So the Gnista was born out of this, I wanted to challenge, like, okay, so can I nudge this? Can I make something else? And how is this going to look? And if I listen to the experts, the mixologists and the bartenders and the sommeliers, and if I build drinks from scratch using the methods that I know, which is cooking and great ingredients, well, then let's see where we end up. Yeah.
And that's how Gnista was born.
That's how Gnista was born. So I started doing my floral wormwood, the vermouth style. This was before COVID. And then during COVID, I did barrel oak. We had a massive interest in the States, and so I did like a Kickstarter campaign because we couldn't really, all very limited. And then, the range has just grown. So then I figured, you working with wines, and this is one of the when you do sparkling is nice. Sparkles, bubbles, they make everything a bit more fun. Mm-hmm. But still, red wines, this was like one of the areas that I wanted to tackle. So 2.5 years ago, I did 2 red alternatives, and this summer I also launched Gnista Blonde. So one crisp instead of a Riesling, and one funky instead of an orange wine.
I can't wait to try them. I haven't tried them yet. A disclaimer. But let's get the elephant out of the room, right? Wine alternatives. Wine alternatives is like a gray zone in the industry still.
Yeah.
So it's not bound by legal definitions or appellations, unlike people who want to be called wine, or brands that want to be called wine. So it allows for a lot of freedom, right? On your side, you're very free to do what you like, and the other question I have for you is it a problem not to be able to call yourself a wine?
I think there are lots of problems. My range of drinks, they are very strange. Like in general, people would be either very happy or very disappointed because they taste a lot and they taste different. Yeah. So if I'm putting them into bottles that look like wine bottles and spirit bottles, and I make them in such a way that you can keep these spirit bottles on the shelf behind you also after opening. This is a bit problematic because it gives people a picture of what the drink is going to taste like, right? But then again, if I wouldn't have put it in a wine bottle, it would just be a strange period, and no one would know like when to serve it. So this is my starting point: is the occasion when we are to drink it.
Okay.
And is it a problem? It's more kind of, I don't like the word wine alternative. I like the word proxy, but it doesn't work in all languages and people don't know it yet. We operate in so many different markets, and like in Dubai, for example, they want us to keep the original bottle saying wine alternative, which we put on because it's a legal requirement in the States, for example.
Mm-hmm.
But they also want us to put like a sticker on top of it, so that because we're not allowed to call it anything that has to do with wine in the Arabic states. So you have all of these different, and I guess like it's problematic, but it's also fun and creative, and I don't really care. I think what bothers me the most is the name. I think wine alternative is boring. I think non-wine is boring. Yeah, but this is what we have to deal with. So I'm sticking around, and then at some point we will not be able to call it non-alcoholic spirit either, are we? I mean, and at that point I will just change the name, and yeah.
Yeah, and I heard that there are new regulations coming next year from the EU. In
Yeah,
fact, we have a very interesting interview on that very soon, so recommend listening to it.
I will.
Um, yeah.
I hope I can keep the labels I have on the bottles. We'll see.
Yeah. No, no. I think there's quite a bit of change coming, so good to get prepared. Hi, this is Vanessa. Just a quick interlude to tell you a little bit more about Vinos. We're a media publishing platform, and we welcome anyone and everyone who is a professional in the non-alcoholic wine market to talk to us. If you wanted to be interviewed on this podcast, if you wanted to advertise on this podcast, or be in our newsletter, if your winery rank higher on our website, if you want to collaborate on our social media, there's plenty of opportunities to partner with us. There is a media pack at the bottom of our website, to the very bottom to the left. Just click media pack, and get in touch with us. Or you can email us info@vinos.com. Vinos, that's written VIN00S.com, and we'll be happy to talk to you, even if you just want a general chat. Cheers. At least in the EU.
Vanessa, this is such a creative industry. It's so much fun, and I think it's changing so rapidly, and it's been a bit of Wild West, and anyone has been able to do anything, and the competition is so low, which means that everyone is kind of friends.
Yeah.
It's I love it.
Yeah, me too, and I'm just new to it, and I love it.
Yeah.
So, talking still about this elephant in the room, do you believe consumers care about the distinction between a wine alternative or not? Or are we complicating things? Do you think they care?
I don't think they care. I think they care about the experience they get when they consume something, and I think for most people, they will. Like the first few times, it will need to be a curated experience somehow anyways. Like you need to go to a restaurant and have a sommelier pouring it with like and this goes for, because I guess when it comes to de-alcoholized wines, the perception of them being so bad, I mean, this is something I guess the manufacturers of de-alcoholized wines have to deal with. So we all have different, like we all need to have people trying them,
Yeah.
trying another time, a different occasion, and then so yes, maybe complicating it a little bit. When you don't want to drink alcohol but you want to have the experience, well
Exactly.
then, I mean that's the starting point.
Does it matter? Exactly. So let's talk about your amazing marketing. I mean, incredible. You're in so many countries, and then I was really amazed by your Amore Princess Zero Alcohol collection, which will be served fleet-wide on Princess Cruises, which reaches over 2 million guests a year.
17 and a half, I've read.
17 and a half
Yeah.
guests. Oh my.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, I know. This is all very exciting. They have no
Oh my
idea
gosh.
about the quantities. I don't know about the quantities. I've just produced loads to stock up, and
Yeah.
hopefully,
That's wow. And
But
so,
yes,
so tell us, how did this partnership start? And
word
how
of
did
mouth.
you pitch to them, or they came
No,
to
word of
you?
mouth. Word of mouth.
Okay.
This
Okay.
is this is how it normally goes. So I think all my marketing, I've spent zero money on marketing since we started because I spend all my money on liquids.
Okay.
And also we've been fortunate enough to have to get a good SEO basis and PR from the start.
Yeah.
Because what we do is different, and this means that people find Gnista, and when they find Gnista, I will be there and I will give them bottles, and they will try. So this is what happened with. This is what happens with all the. When I launched 6 years ago, I didn't do it because I realized that the market for these kind of crafty, strange drinks that I am representing, it's not big enough in one country. You need to make it global, right? So I didn't have a starting point saying, oh, let's go to Sweden and then Scandinavia and then Germany. But I just say, hey, world, here's Gnista. Who wants to try? And some picked it up, and that has. So this is still how I sell Gnista. I sell it to people being in touch, and then they get to try it, and many, including the beverage director at Princess, enjoys them, and they want to stock it. Which is fantastic, because I think they're for when you read about the way that the industry and media wants to present alcohol-free, and especially this kind of modern alcohol-free, it says it's a boom. It's been a boom for years. The industry grows with XYZ%, blah blah blah. That is, I don't think that it. For each, when it comes to these kind of new products that needs to be curated, people need to try them. Well, I think it's a slower growth rate, and you need to be very selected. You need to have good partners. They need to know what they're doing. They need to have both stamina in terms of money and a heart, and taste buds. And so I think it's lucky that we've been able to work the way we do
with Princess and others. So no marketing, no trade shows. PR you did at the beginning. Tastings, influencers, collaborations.
Yeah, when they reach out, which they do, and I say, sure, I'll send you bottles. Is that enough? And most say, sure, yeah, why not? And trade shows, I tend to. So the way that I work is I try to help our importing partners. So when they participate, I go there and I represent Gnista, and so that's how I work. I think it's very important to be a brand that shows up.
Yeah. So in which countries are you present? Where do you?
Canada, the States, very soon Mexico. They just ordered a pallet of Funky. And then it's most countries in Europe, and Singapore, the Arabic, Dubai, the Arabic region, 2 countries very soon, and very soon also the Philippines, Thailand. Yeah, I think that's it. It's 12 countries in total.
12 countries. Amazing. So how many people are behind Gnista today? How do you make this all happen? Sounds like a lot of work.
It's mostly me, and then I have Anne, who's my left hand, and we obviously have the production crew, Max, who does the shipping, all the e-com and web stuff, and I have Ben, who does the more kind of creative stuff that I don't do myself. I am mostly a creative person. I'm not mostly a business builder. I think someone has to do that. This is my vision. I just want to take Gnista to the stage where no one can say, we don't need to have dried apricots or raisins in here. Just add some, syrup. I don't want that. I just want to take Gnista to that stage where it can't be diluted, and then someone else can do, can scale it properly, and I can do the marketing.
Okay, got you. Wonderful. And design pillars, talking about creativity. You mentioned tannins, bitterness, and structure, your design pillars. Mm-hmm. So how do you achieve that technically? What happens? You don't have grapes, you don't have alcohol. So how does it work? What's the base? How does it? What's the
Well,
magic?
in most of the products, rhubarb juice, I have rhubarb juice and sour cherry as kind of around half, and then it's different extracts.
Okay.
All of them have because when I create the drinks, I look at the entire, obviously the entire, from nose to aftertaste,
Yep.
so there it goes both for what kind of ingredients and how they are treated, and all of them contain fresh ginger, a black pepper called Vinh Linh. It's a single estate from Vietnam, very floral, and also like a habanero extract that's very, very strong. I think we have 125 grams per 1,000 kilos. So it's super strong. This is all handmade. So it means that the batches vary, but it also means that it's, we need to have a master blender because, all the ingredients. You can imagine like rhubarb juice that's being harvested in May compared to rhubarb juice harvested in August. It's a completely different, like the sugar levels, the acidity. So it's a lot of tasting and comparing and measuring of like different to get it as close as we want, like to the reference. But this, I think, also consumers in general are they are aware that, which we have to thank, the wine industry, that each year
Each year will be different.
will be small variations. Yeah. So this is one example. So like the ginger, it gives the first kind of whatever burn, and then you have the black pepper, and then eventually you have the habanero. So you create a curve. I use for body, I use just normal sugar beet syrup that's grown in, like, sugar beets are kind of this size. They grow here in Swedish, just a little bit before mouthfeel. My two latest, the blondes, they have only like 20 calories, so they are so, in my opinion, a bit too unsweet. Because when you don't have the alcohol, as you say, you need to maximize everything else. You need to like make concentrates. You can not only use French oak chips. You need to have like American and French and treat them different ways. And so the smoky one, this one, it's because what I'm doing, I'm not trying to make imitations. I don't think you can make a wine and without alcohol and get something that's it won't satisfy me. It will be, for me, I will compare it too much to wine. And since I drink wine, I know there are many, many people who don't, and for them it's good enough. But for me, I drink wine, so I will compare it to wine. And so I'm trying instead to find like tasting notes. So what are the tasting notes of a typical Northern Italian wine, from Piemonte? Well, you have the cherries, you have the licorice, you have pepper, you have, tannins, oak, violet, and then I add these stuff and I treat them different ways. So I was going to say, with this one, the smoky one, I think there are many fantastic non-alcoholic whiskeys that they have an amazing smell, which means that you can use them for cocktails or mocktails. But then there is, if you de-alkalize, the same as with wine, if you de-alkalize whiskey, well, you have taste, but like the body, there is hardly any body. It's very, if you enjoy a normal whiskey, you will be disappointed, right? Yeah. So instead we smoke sugar beet syrup again, using birch and coffee wood. So that means when you smoke the syrup, you get like the syrup in the body. And this, I think, is so fantastic, because what happens is if you want to have like a whiskey drink and you mix Gnista barrel oak with another, great non-alcoholic whiskey that gives like a whiskey-y like nose, you get something that's perfect.
Oh, I can't wait to try. You're making me very thirsty.
Do you like whiskey?
I love whiskey.
Oh, fun.
I'm a whiskey girl. Great. I would love to try it. So that's great that we're talking about R&D, because my next question was around AI and fermentation science and novel ingredients that are coming. Do you think it's going to change a lot in the next few years? What you're doing at the moment? Are you like every year innovating, and do you think it's going to accelerate?
I think it's going to accelerate if we look at the industry as a whole. Um, I think it will accelerate because I think there are more companies and more brains and more, being inspired by others and picking like the raisins and making their own things, and that in itself will accelerate things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think necessarily that AI or just like general knowledge will do it. I think novel ingredients, yes. New fermentation techniques, new, especially like East Asian ingredients and techniques, I think will make drinks more fun and more funky and more kind of spirit-like or alcoholic. But I'm not sure. Like when I launched Gnista, I figured I would be so late on this ball. Like someone else will do it, and to this day, like no one, or at least not many, have copied what I do. So I think there are many other boundaries, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's not that easy, Erika.
Well, I think like making drinks is not that hard. Running a business is hard. Scaling
Yes.
something is very hard, especially when you need to, like, because I haven't chosen the raising money easy way, because I think for me it's more about, again, changing what's out there and seeing like how can I be a force, can Gnista be forced,
Mm-hmm.
and see if we can find new ways, new liquids, inspiring others. And in ways, I think we've already done that, which I'm very proud of. But it is hard. Like when you don't have enough cash, you need to produce more. You need to pay for production, but the margins don't cover, the production expenses. I think it's a challenge. It's a very fun challenge, and I think many non-alcoholic brands would actually benefit from helping one another more.
Yeah. But you seem to be doing very well, so continue on that.
I think just for anyone in this business, sticking around, I think that's the
Yeah.
key. Like
Yeah.
not just
Yeah.
sticking around, and then we'll all survive and we'll be happy. I read
Yeah.
somewhere ages ago that there are like 4,000 gin brands.
Whoa.
I mean, it's so few of us, and the days, that have the week have so many days
Yeah.
and so many patients.
So tell me what's next for Gnista. This is my last two questions, like new markets, new categories, collaborations.
New markets, definitely.
Okay.
And yes, new markets, and I think the fact that Princess, I mean, that's huge in the sense that yes, they are luxury, but they are not like the speakeasy bar in Singapore. They are something else, and they target a different group. And I think this industry is very like the travel retail industry is really interesting.
Great. Hospitality. Wonderful. And your prediction for 2026? What will surprise us most about the alcohol-free industry?
I think there will be more. I think there will be more tea-based drinks. Generally speaking, tea is so much more than just tea, isn't it? And the way you can treat it, and like the whole Eastern influence. So I think, I mean, functional drinks with adaptogens, etc. It's been a lot of talk about that, and I think it will maybe continue. But I think in the end, people want unique, interesting, and great tasting drinking experiences.
And that's what they're going to get in 2026. Yeah. Or
Yeah,
more and more.
yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Erika. It's been a pleasure having you. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Cheers. Bye.